Since 1971, Save Mount Diablo has been protecting open space on and around Mount Diablo. To date, they and their partners have helped to create more than 50 parks and preserves and protected over 120,000 acres. And joining me now is Ted Clement. Ted is the Executive Director of Save Mount Diablo. Ted, thank you for joining us today. For starters, let's talk about why Save Mount Diablo was established in the first place. Why was it necessary to start an organization like this?
Thanks, Dan. Save Mount Diablo is a nationally accredited not-for-profit land trust founded in 1971 because our founders understood that Mount Diablo is filled with incredible natural resources, and they also understood that the Bay Area would be growing, putting at risk those incredible natural lands and natural resources.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, these great open spaces, especially Mount Diablo, is really one of the reasons people want to live here in the first place. Let's talk a little bit about, what's going on lately. Tell me what's one of your newest projects?
We have a lot of exciting projects. One of them is the Krane Pond acquisition project. On Mount Diablo is something we call the missing mile. It's roughly a square mile of open space lands owned by private landowners that are largely not yet protected or developed. So we've been trying to protect lands in that missing mile. Krane Pond is one. It has one of the largest ponds on the north side of Mount Diablo. It is contiguous with Mount Diablo State Park because of its water resources, incredibly important for wildlife. And we have to raise $500,000 by October to protect that land.
Well, that's exciting news to think about protecting even more space up there, and it sounds beautiful. Talk a little bit about, if you would, the fact that most of the years you've been working and protecting land has been sort of on and around Mount Diablo itself, and now your mission, your geographic area that you're protecting is really expanding to the entire Diablo Range. So talk a little bit about what is the Diablo Range, where is it, and why is it so important to protect and expand the area that you are protecting?
So Mount Diablo is on the northern part of the Diablo Range, this incredible 200-mile-long mountain range that extends through 12 counties. We've now expanded our geographic scope all the way down to San Benito County. This is all especially important in the time of the climate crisis as we try to protect the integrity of this natural system so it can be more resilient. The Diablo Range has incredible biodiversity. For example, it has the largest concentration of nesting golden eagles on the planet. So we have to make sure that Mount Diablo does not get cut off from the rest of its sustaining Diablo Range due to things like overdevelopment.
That makes perfect sense. And that is an amazing fact about golden eagles. I had no idea. That's extraordinary. Talk a little bit about, if you would, give me a specific project that you're working on down that way, down in the lower part of the Diablo Range.
One of our recent projects further south in the Diablo Range is the Tesla Park area. We worked with our good partners over a few years to ensure that the Tesla Park did not become an off-road utility vehicle park like Carnegie. We were successful, and in 2021, the governor signed into law that Tesla Park is not to become an off-road vehicle park. And now we're working with our partners to ensure this area, which is over 3,000 acres in size, gets high-level protections for its important natural and cultural resources.
Well, Ted, that's so great. You're protecting more land down there. That's another win for Save Mount Diablo, another win for all of us. More protected land is always good. So thank you very much for doing that, and thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you, Dan.